Hey everyone, Shabby Gaming here, and welcome to another quick episode of ShabbyTalk. Now, I'm sat here thinking NXT Takeover is still a few hours away, and I can't really wait. I want something to do to keep myself entertained, so I thought, why not make a video previewing the matches this evening? So I'm going to assume that it's going to start off with Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami, which is the match that I actually want to see the most out of the whole card. It's going to be hard hitting, it's going to be a stiff match. Both guys really, well, I'll say Hideo's probably quite desperate for a victory. He's not been in the best run of form as recently. He's had a few decent wins, but this new heel run for him I think is really, really good. And I want to see how Aleister Black continues on, because at the moment he's looking quite a force to be reckoned with, of course, defeating the likes of Cassius Ohno recently, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly as well, both in singles matches. So he's really been given quite a mega push, Aleister Black. And if they let him win here against Hideo Itami tonight, then I'd feel like they're maybe pushing him towards the NXT Championship for next month. If not, then maybe a good run for Hideo as a heel, maybe towards that championship, which might indicate that potentially we might have a face winner this evening in the main event. But I don't know. I got a feeling that Aleister Black will come out of this on top still, you know. I really have, and I hope he does, because he's one of my favourite wrestlers, if not my favourite wrestler in just general. He's really, really good. So next up, Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. Almas, very good heel, I think. Since he's turned to a heel, it's really developed his character tenfold. He's been absolutely fantastic, and of course are now alongside, is it Zelina Vega, of course, or Sarah Stock, Rosita, whatever you want to call her. She's now at ringside for Almas, and it's just to try and, it's a clever little gimmick to try and focus him a bit more, try and make him a bit less cocky and a bit more of a brutish heel. And it'd be good to see Johnny Gargano in his first singles match at a NXT Takeover as well. I think this is going to be a real top class match, actually really good quality match between these two. And again, it could quite easily steal the show. Both these matches could steal the show, really. I think I'm more interested in the undercard than I am the main event, to be honest. And next up, a match that I am actually very interested in is the Authors of Pain versus Sanity for the Tag Team Championships. Now, Authors of Pain are a fantastic, dominant tag team. However, I feel like there might be a good chance that themselves, along with Paul Ellering, might make their way up onto the main roster very, very soon. So I anticipate potentially Sanity taking those tag team championships this evening. It's going to be strange to see Sanity playing more of a, not necessarily a face role, but more of a tweener sort of role. I think the crowd would be more behind Sanity this evening than Authors of Pain. And yeah, I just feel like we could end up with brand new tag team champions this evening, allowing Akam and Rezar to move up to the main roster pretty soon. The SmackDown tag division's looking pretty weak now, considering how many tag teams they've destroyed recently. So maybe we could see Authors of Pain on SmackDown very soon. Next up, of course, we have the Women's Championship match. Now, I don't know what to say about this one. I really don't. Asuka's very close to breaking another few records of holding a championship for long periods of time in the WWE. Still unbeaten as well since she first started in NXT as well. But I feel like it's about time that we had a new Women's Champion. But I feel like if we do have a new Women's Champion, does that mean Asuka will stay around, and does that mean she'll have to have a rematch at the Survivor Series takeover, or would that free Asuka up to move up onto the main roster and become a dominant face on there as well, which could really be done with? Because again, I think the Raw Women's Division's okay, but I feel like there's a lack of depth. As you may have seen with the Raw Women's Division, it's always Sasha, Bayley, Alexa, and Nia. Those are the four, over and over and over and over again. None of the other women get a look in, and it becomes very, very boring that nobody else is getting a chance. So maybe sending Asuka in there could really beef up that women's division and really just send a shockwave through there and give us someone decent, because I think the women's division on Raw has completely died a death recently. So I feel like Asuka could lose here this evening and move up onto the main roster. Either that, or as I've mentioned before, my idea was that Asuka would continue winning, then vacate the championship to move up onto Raw, and then the winner of the Mae Young Classic will become the next NXT Women's Champion. That's very possible as well. But I think, again, it's going to be another really, really good match. These two worked really well in the ring together at the last takeover. Asuka went a little bit heel at the last takeover as well, didn't she? A little bit of cheating to hold on to the championship. So it wouldn't surprise me if Ember did come out on top this time. But again, it's one I can't really call. I feel like it's about time that Ember won, but at the same time, Asuka's been so dominant for so long, I don't know if I can see her dropping the belt. I really don't. And then, of course, into our main event of the evening, Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre. I must admit, probably the match that I'm least bothered about in the night. Don't get me wrong, I like both wrestlers, but I'm not like overly hyped about the pair of them. I don't think it's going to be an outstanding classic. But I think as storytelling goes, I think both these guys are very good at that. And it could end up being a very good match. But I don't know, it's one of those sort of ones, isn't it? Again, mentioned earlier on about the Hideo Itami Aleister Black match. Both guys, probably a victory there would maybe secure them a run towards the championship for the next pay-per-view. Or maybe... The thing is, with Roderick Strong being involved the way he has been recently, would anybody put it past Bobby Roode keeping the belt here, maybe via a botched interference by Roderick Strong even? A botched interference by Roderick Strong, Bobby Roode keeps the belt, and then leading up to the next takeover, we get Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre versus Roderick Strong in a triple threat match. I don't see this one finishing clean this evening. I really don't. I think it's going to be something dodgy. Either Bobby Roode's going to cheat to get the win, or like I said, that botched interference by Roderick Strong, maybe accidentally attacking McIntyre rather than Roode. And then that triple threat match at the next takeover will be fantastic. And that's a match I really would want to see. But again, it's another tricky one. I feel like Roode might keep a hold of his belt. I'm not quite sure if McIntyre's done enough yet in NXT to be given that championship. But again, it's another situation where McIntyre may take the belt, because SummerSlam is genuinely, of course, there's 4 major pay-per-views in the year. This is 1/4 of the year after WrestleMania. We've had the draft. We know things have changed. And it makes you wonder whether Bobby Roode moving up to the main roster could be an interesting one as well, potentially maybe over to SmackDown to help bolster up that main event division, considering that there's rumours that John Cena is obviously going to join the Raw roster pretty soon, so maybe Bobby Roode could help out in that main event division over on SmackDown, so potentially Roode could lose the belt here to McIntyre. But those are just my ideas. Of course, there's a load of things that could happen, and of course that one more thing that could happen, one more thing that is definitely going to happen, is Adam Cole is going to make an appearance at some point. Chances are he's just going to be stood in the crowd waving to everyone, but there's a lot of other stuff that could happen. I have seen photographs of him with Johnny Gargano in the airport in Florida, obviously waiting for the plane to come across to New York, so he's definitely going to be there, and like I said, I'm sure he's going to be in the crowd somewhere. And yeah, it's an interesting one. Maybe we see Adam Cole, maybe we see Kyle O'Reilly, maybe Bobby Fish all together. I did mention that in my Shabby Talk the other day about a potential stable there. That'd be really cool if they did do something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I might do a reaction video tomorrow of the show, depending on how good it is. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. It always is. But yeah, those are just my sort of guesses. What do you think is going to happen here this evening? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be watching it live, so I'll be available to comment the whole way through the show if you're interested. And of course, if you do want to chat to me during the show, then just add me on Twitter, direct message me, whatever you want to do. Like I said, I'm going to be sat here watching the show all night anyway. So yeah, it'd be nice to have someone to talk to. I've been Shabby Gamer. Of course, if you have enjoyed this one, do like and subscribe, and I'll see you very, very soon for... I'm going to do another SummerSlam one tomorrow, I think, of Shabby Talk. Bye.